What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another video, and in today's video we're going to be talking about the latest episode of The Bad Batch, Star Wars The Bad Batch on Disney Plus now, titled Infested, episode 13. I cannot believe that we only have 3 episodes left in the series, and if I'm speaking a little bit more quiet than usual, it's because, as you can tell, I'm in a new setup, I'm in a new place, just moved into a new place with my fiance and my best friend, and yeah, they're both sleeping, so I figured let me try to keep my voice down just a little bit as I talk about this episode of The Bad Batch, an episode that I definitely really enjoyed, had a lot of fun elements. It was a nice adventure, filler, just side piece kind of episode. Like with all episodes, even the ones that have filler events that take place in them, you know, they inform the characters, they build the characters in slow and small ways, but yeah, without a doubt, this was not an episode that really pushed the overall narrative and plot forward, especially with the things that are going on with the Empire, Crosshair, the Order 66, the inhibitor chips, and all that jazz. With 3 episodes left to go in the season, I really do hope that the last 3 episodes lean a lot more into the overall plot and the overall narrative that we've been setting up over all the course of the episodes leading up to this point. But in this episode, we go back to Ord Mantell, and the Batch is going back to Sid to see her about a job that they didn't really think went the way that they planned. When they actually get there, they end up finding out that Sid is no longer there, and her bar has been taken over by a Deveronian named Roland Durand. And yeah, him and a bunch of other soldiers are just kind of taking over Sid's bar, and now it's super popular. And we get a glimpse of some Pikes walking out of what used to be Sid's office, but now is Roland's office. We then find out that Roland is working with the Pikes, the crime syndicate, and pretty much has their spices. So Sid and the Bad Batch decide to put together a plan where they go underground, end up stealing the spices from Roland Durand. However, during that mission, they end up being discovered, and now Roland Durand knows that it was them. He ends up revealing that to the Pikes, and the Pikes pretty much say, somebody get us our spices or everybody here is going to die. So to avoid having the Pikes be their enemies at this time, the Bad Batch work with Sid to go back to where the spices actually dropped down below underground, where there's a bunch of bugs. There's an infestation of bugs, which obviously leans into the title of the episode, and they go to pick up the spices that are down there, and ultimately they do. So for the most part, this is just a pretty straightforward, fun adventure episode where the Batch is sent to do something that at the end of the day they do succeed in doing so, and by the end of the episode they save the day. They save Omega, who's been captured by the Pikes, or kind of been held as a ransom. Omega has her nice little moment where she connects with Roland Durand, who is the villain of the episode, but ultimately she kind of sees him as a misunderstood character. And yeah, this was just a nice fun watch this Friday morning, and nothing deep in terms of plot and overall narrative. So I'm going to wrap it up really quickly because overall this is just a nice fun episode. Again, you have top-notch voice acting with Dee Bradley Baker at the center doing an incredible job playing the Bad Batch, as well as just the clones in general and the various other characters that he plays in the background here and there. The character of Sid the Trandoshan has definitely been growing on me over the course of the show, and overall I just enjoy the dynamic of these characters and what's happening here. And yeah, this was a pretty straightforward action-based episode with a nice stealth element to it. However, like I mentioned before, I really do hope that moving forward as we lean into these last 3 episodes of the show, that we really focus primarily on far more plot-driven stories, simply because I really want to see what's happening with the Empire, with Crosshair, with everything that's happening with the inhibitor chips, and that blending from the events that take place in the Clone Wars into the more Imperial Rebels kind of era of Star Wars. So definitely want to see that transition a little bit more. These episodes are fun, don't get me wrong, I definitely enjoy Star Wars at any time, but yeah, I would love to see something that's a little bit more rich in plot moving forward. Again, I love the filler episodes, and I'm kind of the person who feels like filler episodes are kind of needed at times, because you can just have a nice fun adventure that has moments that kind of inform these characters and build these characters, and it doesn't always need to be super plot driven. So yeah, that's why ultimately I can watch this episode 13, titled Infested, and say this was a good time. So definitely want to hear what you guys have to say. Did you like this episode? Did you not like this episode? Please leave any and all of those comments down below in the description box, or not the description box, I'm sorry, the comment section. And yeah, as usual, I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.